Hello, Al Pals. How you? I don't even know if that went out. The live thing kind of hesitated. So let me do it again. Hello, Al Pals.
Hello, nurse.
It never hurts to say, hey, well, there's Casey Scott. Hey,
There we
you
go.
know, as far as I know, Casey, you
Yep.
are the first one. I haven't seen any other comments or anything, but there was like a weirdness going on. Usually when you schedule a stream, you could go to your YouTube channel and it will be there. Mine wasn't. I kept having to go through StreamYard to get to the YouTube page. It was really weird.
Right. And you had this, and you and I both had the same problem when we tried sharing this. The thumbnail didn't come up. So I don't know what's going on with this stream. It's
you know, it's Abbott and Costello, it's wackiness, you know.
I think that's what it is.
Stuff.
So what are we all sipping on tonight?
I have lemonade. What do you got tonight?
I have blood wine, which for the humans would be vodka cranberry.
Oh, okay. They actually do have a blood wine now, don't they?
They do. There is a California vineyard that puts out a blood wine. We have an older vintage of it. They're putting it out now with a wax seal on it. And I got to be honest with you, we were about to order it, and then when we saw how much it was going to cost with shipping, we said forget it.
Shipping gets you. Shipping gets you.
The shipping was ridiculous.
That's why I love Amazon. And I'm really thinking, will Amazon, once the pandemic thing winds itself away,
mm-hmm.
and they hopefully, of course, go back to same day, next day stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But what about all these people who are paying for Amazon Prime prices throughout the year? Are they going to extend the enrollment of the yearly subscriber?
I don't know. Nanette and I have been pretty happy with.
Have we been really getting our Prime membership worth? I mean, yeah, we get the films and songs and stuff like that. Unless, of course, I really wish, first of all,
mm-hmm.
Amazon needs to have a gold membership where you get everything: music,
Audible,
all this other little piddly stuff they've got.
True.
Combined into a gold membership for a semi-reasonable price.
Yeah, I can dig that. I get what you're saying.
I mean, you like I said, your Audible, you can tweak it to just, it's like Amazon Prime. There are certain things you can listen to free. Be like a trimmed down Audible, or you can pay for the Audible Plus, where you kind of get that whole, you get however many free a month that you can buy, and then you can listen to anything you want, But I don't run the world, so it doesn't matter. But first of all, let's get down to business. I, of course, am Big Al, fresh off a 5-day in a row stint. This is day 6. Day 6 is streaming for me.
And then on Sunday he rested.
And on Sunday I shall rest. But yes, this is day 6, a little loopy. But it's been a fun week. Had a lot of fun there, Fan Man. I want to thank Fan Man again for letting me fill in last night. Also would like to thank Professor Geek for being being my co-host guest, but I was ready to do it myself. But I'm glad he joined me, because especially during during the rewatch of It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, that I had someone to talk to. My original plan was that whoever was there last night, and I was going to have like a little, maybe like trivia contest or ask a question, whoever answered first. I was going to give them the option of being the co-host for the rewatch.
Oh, cute.
I'm going to keep that in my back pocket for another day, though. So
cool.
That could be fun. Of course, I would like to welcome the usual suspects. I'm going to do the ladies first.
Sure.
The lovely Netters, the Net from Netters Network. How are you doing, my lady?
I'm doing wonderfully. How are you this evening, Al?
I am doing wonderful. Who's your friend? I know you got a little friend on your shoulder, your avatar. Does he have a name?
I haven't named him, so if everyone wants to give him a name, that'd be great. He's my little shoulder gargoyle.
He is a little shoulder gargoyle. Let's give a little little look, get a look at his face. Maybe someone will come up with a good name for him.
And of course, I got him from that wonderful
what
store
is it?
that
Okay.
Chris told us about, Chris Moe.
Lord
Lord
Grimley's Manor.
Grimley's Manor. That's the one. Yeah.
If you use FanMan 10, you get 10% off.
And we did.
And they did. And he eventually earned enough to get a free mask, which he got. And I have seen a preview of it, and it is gorgeous. It is just so beautiful. And I'll just say, very appropriate for tonight's viewing as well. I'm sure he's going to do a video on it, but it's Frankenstein's monster. Shh.
Oh, okay. Well, that's appropriate then for tonight. Right?
Oh, but which one? We do not know.
Oh, good point.
But yes,
so if anyone wants to name my little fellow there, just drop some suggestions in the chat, and we'll pick one.
Casey Scott saying Charlie. You know, we need a demonic name. Come on, something with a little flair to it. Charlie's too easy. Charlie the or something begins with G, because I love alliteration. The Gargoyle, something with a G. That's not easy. Greta the Gargoyle. Is it? Yeah, I guess it's a guy. But if it's
it is a boy.
It's a boy. So I guess she looked. It's a boy. I'm not going to ask how she knows that for sure, but I guess she knows.
He was trying to nibble on my neck, so I have to presume.
Ah, there you go. Well, you never know though. Also joining us, our Mego man, our Dracula doll. Hey, that's an M&M and a D&D. Yeah. We have Troy Pacelli from the Troy Pacelli channel and Cartan, the Klingon Cleric channel. Which
I do not go blah 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 blah.
Which I will say, for those who haven't heard yet, Cartan has some content now. I'm sure Troy will.
Yeah, at the end, I'll share the links and everything. Yeah. But I'll tell you something else. It looks like, just to give a sneak peek, it looks like I might be, for a brief period next month, I might be doing some live streams on the Cartan Klingon Cleric channel. So we might be doing some Star Trek Tuesdays.
Oh, there we go. Trekkie Tuesday.
Trek Tuesdays, yeah.
But thank you guys for joining me. And of course, let's look at the chat. Like I said, to my best knowledge, Casey Scott was the first one. Hey, Sir Tor Clegane saying good evening, guys and ghouls. Jedi Master Zetopia saying hi to everybody. Daniel Heron, hello. Of course, Netter has been saying hello. Melissa Harris has joined us. Thank you. A regular and always welcome. And we have see if there's anybody. Aged Boomer has joined us. Tom Spiegel, thank you for dropping by. And Evelyn Hampton is in the house.
Evelyn!
Welcome.
So glad you're here.
Oh, she's an admiral?
Yes, she is. She is actually the CNC of the Chicago sector of the Klingon Armada International.
Oh, yep. Now CNC is
Commander in Chief. She is the top dog of the club. Yep.
Ooh. Wow, she's
my boss.
We have high in the Klingon command here. That's pretty impressive.
One step below Chancellor.
Ooh, Chancellor's like the highest, right?
Yep, Chancellor's as high as you can go.
I say, Evelyn, grab your bat lift, and it's time to make your play.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think she wants the responsibility. She knows better.
Oh yeah, it's rough at the top. Just ask,
exactly.
Just ask everybody at the top.
That's pretty much why Nanette hasn't killed me to take over the show.
Goodness. But yes, tonight we are going to be rewatching
and Sound Engraver. She just jumped in.
Oh, Sound Engraver jumped in.
Yep.
Hello, Sound Engraver, our Monday night muse, who is finally back and will be back on tomorrow night. So it'll be not tomorrow night, Monday night. Oh, see, it's been a long week.
Yeah.
I've
You lose
lost
track of what
total.
night it is, right?
I don't know. I'm thinking, I wake up in the mornings and I don't know what day it is. And sometimes my mother asks me, what's today? And I'm like, I really don't know. I have to look at my Kindle.
Exactly.
I thought today was Friday until I was like, looking at the clock going, wait a minute, it's Saturday. It's a half hour till showtime. I got to get my computer ready.
Exactly.
The only way I ever know that it's Saturday is when I'm watching The Office one right after the other all day.
Mhm.
And my girl, America's sweetheart, Kelly Ripa, is not on, nor are my favorite game shows, of course, those two wonderful game shows I love to watch, which had a Trekkie day. Let's Make a Deal had a Star Trek day, and it was really, really awesome. Everybody dressed up in Trek stuff, and
Nice.
and sometimes if they got a zonk, it was a whole big thing of tribbles. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Nice.
Yes, but tonight we are rewatching the 1948 classic comedy. Don't want to say horror, but it does have our beloved Universal monsters. 3 of them, sort of 4 if you really think about it, but not mainly the 3. The 3 of the holy Universal Trinity, which is Lon Chaney as the Wolfman, Glenn Strange as Frankenstein's monster, and of course our beloved Bela Lugosi as Count Dracula, who was only playing Dracula for the second and last time. A lot of people don't know that. He only played it twice. Imagine being an actor who has as big a legacy as that, where you play a character twice and you are immortal.
Yeah, no matter how many Dracula films there were, he only played it twice, and one of them was a comedy,
Yeah, and he almost didn't get it. They basically, I think someone really had to go to the producers and like, you guys owe this to him.
Right?
I mean, Bella just unfortunately he just was never asked to. I don't know if he was never asked or he just never did any of the follow-ups like House of Dracula, House of Frankenstein, Son of Dracula, although technically he really was Dracula. He's not the son. Spoiler. But yeah, he was in the 1931 original, and the only other time he truly played the Count Dracula, was with Abbott and Costello. But yeah, 1948. It was a time when the Universal monsters were winding up. They really only had one big play left, which would be in a few years with the Creature from the Black Lagoon, about six years after this. That was kind of like the last of the glory film,
which almost seems detached from all the rest. These others kind of intercrossed.
Yeah, they intercrossed. Well, thanks to House of Dracula, House of Frankenstein, and Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. They do interlink a little bit. Yeah. But this film does not follow in the continuity of those films. It's a standalone with the characters. It's meant to be its own little thing. We're going to start my copy at all zeros right before the Universal International old logo starts. I got an MP4. If you don't have a copy of this film, there is versions on the Internet Archive, and I believe there's a couple sources out there for it, so you don't have an excuse not to watch it. But of course, if you don't just want to listen along, that's fine.
And of course, the professor has all the DVDs of the collection of these films. They did not come with the Abbott and Costello film. So what I did, of course,
actually, some of them did.
Did they?
Yeah. So there was, I believe it was the 100th anniversary edition of Universal.
That's not the one that I have. So what I did was I took ones.
They actually put at the Abbott Costello ones, and they were interlaced, and they all had their own Abbott Costello collection.
Nice. I took the ones that I had, and of course, you know how I do. I made my own custom boxes and whatnot, and I put Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein into the Frankenstein collection. So
Makes
that's
sense.
where I
Yeah.
have my DVDs.
Actually, Tom Spiegel has a point. If we could, if someone could drop a link for the Abbott Costello
Sure. Give me a
thing.
second. Let me take a look.
Oh,
And
okay. Thank you, because I don't have you. I don't really have YouTube up. Although, I could in my thing, but your computer's faster, and if I start bringing up other things, I'm gonna crash my computer.
What is the name of that site again? The Internet.
It's Internet Archive.
Internet Archive. There it is.
What I usually do is type in the name of whatever I'm looking for with the year, and I just look at the video.
So can I go ahead and just drop the link into the chat?
Go for it. Yeah,
That's not going to get us like.
Not that I'm aware of.
I mean, you're not monetized.
I'm not monetized, and I did it. We did it last night. Well, no, I didn't do it last night. I had posted it on the Facebook page for.
Well, we'll take a chance and see what happens. But
yeah, I don't see.
There's a link for y'all that don't already have Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
Yeah, Internet Archive's pretty. It's a pretty innocent site, I believe. I've never had any like people looking at me funny because of it, and it's
okay. And while they're calling that up, Troy has reminded me in the chat about Beazle for the name of my gargoyle from one of my favorite book series. We have a favorite author named Christina Henry, right? Mm-hmm. And she does a series called Black Wings, and she has a gargoyle named Beazle who eats popcorn. And I'd totally forgotten about Beazle, so he reminded me. So my gargoyle's name is Beazle.
Although I would say a good runner-up would be the name that Soundgraver came up with, Doyle the Gargoyle.
Doyle the Gargoyle.
That was actually really, really good.
That's a good one. Of course, that does perfectly fit in with my love of languagey, weird, doing weird things.
I agree.
Kind of, I guess it would be considered. I don't know if it's alliteration, but it's something else probably.
By the way, I just noticed on this archive. .org that starts at exactly the place you said, so if you start from the 0 mark there, you should be okay.
Yeah, chances are it's the same file that I got where I got it. I think I got mine off of somewhere else in the high seas, spotted it because it was actually in my first batch of downloads that I have along with Dracula and Frankenstein are also in the same folder. I'll say I save as I go along.
Full disclosure, just to give everyone a peek behind the curtain, even though I have the DVD, whenever I have the DVD, I still pull down a copy of it for Netter because she's watching it in another room. So it's easier than making a physical copy of the DVD,
Yeah, and like I said, I like to do the MP4 because every time I try to stream, my computer blows up or I get that stupid buffering, and
dude, I dig it. I totally do.
Oh god, it's a mess. And my DVD player on my computer doesn't work. Really need to get a new one, but I will get around to it soon. So yes, starting at 00. If everybody's ready, if nobody needs any more time, we will start with a countdown. And when I say play, hit play. Okay. Yep. And 3, 2, 1, play. Dun dun.
I know it starts out sounding so ominous,
yeah,
and then it clearly becomes comical as you get into it with the
animation done by the same guy who does Woody the Woodpecker.
Really, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the name of the guy, but it's in here somewhere. Walter Lantz.
It does have that old time, like Disney type of feel to it.
Yeah. I love older animation because they do it at a higher frame rate. And so
I did not know that.
It seems much smoother.
That's brilliant. I had no idea.
And then Lenore Albert gets her own little thing. Original screenplay. Another peek behind the curtain for the film. When Lou Costello got the original script, he did not want to do this film. He was saying, "My daughter could write better than this."
Wow.
But a big old $50,000 check changed his mind. and the fact that his friend Charles T. Barton, the director here, as on the screen now, was a very good friend and had done many of his films, so he acquiesced, and then eventually changed his mind. He really liked how it kind of came out.
Look at that shot of Big Ben there.
I know, it's beautiful.
I mean, that is some great cinematography.
It's dark and mysterious. The great Lon Chaney.
And I do want to point out, we missed it when it was going by in the credits. Makeup by the great Bud Westmore.
Bud Westmore, yes. And at this point, the Universal had decided to try to use less money towards makeup.
Sure.
So Charles Pierce kind of, being older, kind of like his makeup style was very expensive.
Yep.
And Westmore and them started using the rubber appliances.
Yep.
Which they started using for this.
And I understand that the reason that they did that was for financial reasons, to try and bring the price down. But what people don't realize is that also paved the way for shows like the Munsters and so forth, where you had to have an appliance, every week.
Yep. And they had to, like I said, they had to trim the budget, but if they did it Charles Pierce's way, it took more time, more money. Even though he was a master, they just, like I said, this film was kind of, things were changing in the Universal horror realm.
Yeah.
Like I said, they would still do their horror films, and in horror, I also include some of the sci-fi things, like the one with the Metaluna mutant, This Island Earth, ones like that are considered Universal horror. But like I said, they only had the one monster left to give us, and that was in 1954 with The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
I love this scene. It reminds me of me and Netter.
Lou Costello is just, he's like a teddy bear.
Yep.
A human teddy bear.
Yep.
Yeah.
These two, of course, a great duo. I was a huge fan. I liked all the teams, the Three Stooges, the Marx Brothers,
Martin and Lewis.
But I always had the big fondness for these two. These two were my favorites. As much as I love Three Stooges, I love me some Abbott and Costello.
So when I was a kid, my first experience with Bud and Lou was the cartoon, believe it or not. And it was only after watching the cartoon, and my grandmother saw me watching it, she's like, "Oh, they made these guys into a cartoon?" And I'm like, "Oh, these are real people." And she's the one who then got me watching the movies and the shorts and the shows and stuff.
Yeah, he and of course the thumbnail I had, that was their cartoon selves. I came across that, and when I saw that, that just popped to me. I was like, because I knew I wanted to be the Frankenstein's monster, Frank and Al.
I dig it,
and I switched them around. I literally switched Lou's position. I just turned him around so he was looking away instead, and it worked out well.
Okay, and here's the transformation scene.
Yep.
Basically the same effect, where we're showing different iterations superimposed on
it. As he goes, and of course, not his first rodeo going through all this.
Yeah.
Lon Chaney is the only one to have played all four of the major monsters.
So he played the Wolfman. He played Dracula. He played Frankenstein's monster. Help me out. What was the fourth?
I might have missed.
Oh, did he play the Mummy?
And he played the Mummy. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of that, but yeah, he was the Mummy. He was Karras.
Oh,
he played the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was Karras in the last three Mummy movies. But yeah, Chaney was the go-to. I mean, he was a big guy, so he was very imposing. He was a perfect match for, to play that big sized guy.
I don't know if you'd agree with me, but I would say that as a successor to his father, the man of a thousand faces, right? Who pioneered many of the special effects techniques that were later used in these sorts of films. Put Lon Chaney Jr. together with Bud Westmore, and it's almost like having a Lon Chaney Sr. back, in my opinion.
Yeah, you could, or even Jack Pierce.
Okay, yeah, I can see
like I said, Jack Pierce created the werewolf look,
and that is true.
It was actually this look that he wanted to use for Werewolf of London with Henry Hall back in '35.
But Henry Hall didn't want to do all that.
Henry Hall wanted, and there's a whole big story about him getting upset, but it really wasn't as bad as everyone thinks it was.
Oh, really?
Henry Hall's main thing was, I can't act through all the fur.
Well,
so he just
there are other actors that can act through makeup.
Well, at the time, Henry Hall was a huge name. He was a great actor.
Fair enough, that is true.
And it wasn't just a few tweaks. It wasn't like I said, the disagreement over the makeup has been blown up a little bit to more than it was. And this is coming from Courtland Hall, his great nephew, I think. But yeah, I mean, he just wanted something he could act through better, and they tweaked the makeup.
Oh my gosh.
Tells him hold still, and then he's pulling on the crate.
It's weird to see him without a mustache. That's brilliant.
Nice little physical stunt there,
right?
Yeah, Lou was the comedian, so he's the one that took most of the
falls,
the falls and blows. He was their Curly, basically. He would take the most hits.
Yep, agreed.
The Unholy Three, Evelyn Hampton said. Lon Chaney Sr. coming to Turner Classic Movies on the 14th. Of course, Chick and Wilbur, because they never, only a few times have they really used their own names.
Yeah.
And sometimes even when they're named something else, they always go, "Hey, I bet," that kind of thing. He always says he does that a lot.
Well, because they go into these films knowing that the audience knows them as a Bud Lou.
They're Bud Lou.
Yeah.
Abbott and Costello.
Exactly.
It was a dark and stormy night.
Now,
of course, the best nights.
The previous scene, the fellow said that he was going to have an insurance agent there to be there during the uncrating, but there's nobody there.
Good point. Well, that could explain part of why Lou had a problem with the script. It was a little haphazard.
Yeah, I mean, there are issues and things like that, but it's fun. It's just a fun movie.
Yeah.
I wish there was like a cool House of Horrors around here. It'd be awesome. Like I said, I know it. Like I said, Courtland Hall's up in New England somewhere. So
you need to watch that movie I sent you. You need to watch Waxwork.
Waxwork?
Yes.
You sent me a movie?
Well, I told you about it, and it's on Tubi for free. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I keep coming across a lot of horror films.
When I was a kid growing up, back in like near downtown Chicago, there was this one stretch of road that had different shops on it, and one of them was the store, or not store, but it's the storefront, I guess, for Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum.
Oh,
so you could go there and see all the different horrors and things, and it had all the facts on it, like like this person had a nail driven through their head, and
Yeah.
they survive, believe it or not, things like that.
I believe there's still one in San Francisco.
Cool.
Not that I want to go to San Francisco anytime soon. Just saying.
Well, I do love those old phones like that.
Right?
Look at the little sarcophagus in the back. They originally were going to put the mummy in here,
That
but
would have been perfect.
they decided it just was a little too much.
Oh, okay.
It would have been a little congested, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was a good choice.
Hey, something I want to throw out to the audience. Guys, I have, for the 24th, I have listed a rewatch of Hellraiser 3, and I'm not sure I really want to do that. Can I get some suggestions from you all what you think would be a good Halloween rewatch for the 24th? Just let me know.
What about Waxwork?
Oh, that's actually not a bad idea. Let me see if there's any that the audience really wants real bad,
Yeah.
but that's actually not a bad idea, Al. I don't know why I didn't think about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones out there.
Well, if you want super creepy, Nosferatu.
Nosferatu, which is also easily freely available. Night of the Demon.
Ooh,
The
yeah.
Admiral was saying. Let me take a look at that. What is that? I don't know that one. $1957, huh?
And the immortal one himself.
That look. I love that look. Like,
He's got the great reaction face for
yep.
this kind of stuff.
It's like, there you go.
Check. Of course, leaving him to do all the work.
Aged Boomer. There are many major cities I don't want to go to anytime soon. Right? Right now is a good time to stay away from big cities, I think.
Yeah. Oh, Tom Spiegel has a few. The Howling, The Fog.
We did the Howling, didn't we?
No.
Silver Bullet? We did one of those.
We did Trick or Treat.
Oh, okay.
Or Fan Man and I did Trick or Treat.
Okay.
Which is a good film. Check.
Night of the Demons, not to be confused with Night of the Demon.
Tell you, I like The Fog. Fog's a good film.
The Fog's a good one too.
John Carpenter.
Another John Carpenter film. Okay, that might be worth it. Let me think about it, guys. I'm really kind of leaning towards Waxwork now that I've hyped it up as much as I have.
If he leaves that candle on top of the coffin, when Dracula opens it up, it's going to set the place on fire.
No, there's a whole different shtick that is yet to come.
I'm thinking as a practical person.
Yeah.
Practical has no place in horror or comedy. Now, see, I get the goofy ideas in my head. Gee, I wonder if Bela Lugosi is actually the one opening that, or if they have someone else doing that. Something that totally does not matter in the. Yeah, exactly. He can't even get the whistle out.
Jedi Masters Utopias is the last Jedi.
Okay, come on. Let's not get too. I mean, I want to keep it horrific, but not that horrific.
And I think so. I missed. I didn't say it, but I saw it earlier that Lou Costello's daughter Carol was married to Dean Martin's son.
Oh, no
so
kidding.
it kind of combine the two acts, kind of.
Sure. Yes, Aged Boomer. Waxwork is on Prime streaming. It's on Tubi, and it might be on a couple of others for free. That's why I think it might be a good option. He. Ho, ho, ho. Yep. That's him, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, not a bad.
I like that. I'll just go stand back here and stand still.
It's like, I get out, man. I get out. I love his. I just always loved his style.
But now he's not in there.
Right.
But never bothered to open it before, so it's kind of like,
right?
You know.
Kind of makes you wonder why they didn't do that sooner.
Exactly.
You know what movie I just saw last night? Well, Nanette and I saw last night. Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. You ever heard of that one?
I think I've heard of it.
It's set in a world where Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Halloween all really happened.
Oh, cool.
It's actually, it kind of starts out as a kind of tongue-in-cheek thing and then ends off as an actual slasher film.
And now he's going to go back into his coffin? That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, it's a gag.
Like I said, it's not exactly the highest brow humor. It's very simple.
And I like that he times the close because he's looking around to see when are they prying up a nail, and then that'll match the sound of me creaking. Yeah.
Shouldn't that crate be bigger than the other one because this one has Frankenstein who's supposed to be huge?
It's pretty big. Huge, yeah, it's a pretty huge.
But it's the same size as the other crate was. I'm just too logical.
Why bother covering it up now? For crying out loud. It's not like if the monster wanted to get out, he couldn't get out. The eyes. Again with the eyes.
Those eyes.
Now, you know what would be brilliant here? If they went with a storyline where Lou Costello becomes the new Renfield.
It kind of, but it would have changed his character. And I like the lovable Lou. I like lovable Lou. But he's a very simple mind. He's easy to hypnotize.
The eyes aren't the droids you're looking for.
And he's almost like, that worked a little easier than I expected.
And of course, Frankenstein's monster being played by Glenn Strange, who played the monster as much as Boris did. Of course, Boris was the first, so. And I love it. I love how Glenn Strange got the job. Jack Pierce saw him walking around the studio lot and asked him to come in. I want to do something. Didn't tell him what he was going to do and started doing makeup on him, which is not out of the realm of craziness. And he had covered all the mirrors, and Glenn Strange didn't know what he was doing, and then revealed at the end he was the new Frankenstein.
Wow, that's a great way to find out you got a job,
And this is the first time Glenn Strange ever talked as Frankenstein's monster.
Oh.
The monster had talked before because
Sure.
Karloff had, and
yeah. Very interesting. I saw a video about why in film the monster usually did not talk or talked in moans and stunted speech, whereas in the novel he was very eloquent. Once he learned how to read.
yeah. I love how he's scared of Lou.
I like that. Don't be afraid, he won't hurt you.
He won't hurt you. And like I said, at this point, he's got a rubber head on that Westmore had done, and it was so tight and so hot that after several hours of filming, Glenn Strange could shake his head, and you would hear water rolling around from the sweat that was coming off his head.
I've used latex foreheads when I've done the Klingon thing, and I've had the exact same problem. I will spend $40 for a foam rubber head so as not to have to deal with that. It breathes better. It's far more comfortable. I honestly forget that I'm wearing it in the course of the day at a convention.
We should do a cartoon video of you putting your makeup on.
I have thought about that, and I probably will. That's definitely going to happen at some point in the future. Look for that in 2021.
Is that you putting it on, or me putting it on?
It'll probably be a joint project. I don't think I can film it and do the makeup at the same time. Now that is actually not a bad way for them to do the
a little animation. Yeah,
it's better than this.
Yeah. But I'm very fond of the little flapping.
Yeah, I get it.
Flapping doll thing. I kind of dig it.
I even saw the wire there just now.
Yeah. You always kind of pick up the wire, but it's
You notice that the apparatuses and whatnot look far more modern than they did in previous films. I'm sure that's intentional.
Flappy, 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 flappy.
See, this is one of those areas. Now, again, switch to the animation for the transformation. That is brilliant.
That's a cool way to do that. A beautiful way to do that.
How is that any different than using CG these days?
That is a big knocker.
Ba-doom-ching. Pumpkinhead is another good option, Tom Spiegel.
She's a nice looking woman.
Yep.
And of course, I think that hair is probably real. Let's get that out of the way. I would think.
I'd have to see it again. I can't say definitively.
Yeah, it's just a braid around her head.
Could go either way. That could be a hairpiece. It's one of those ones that it's impossible to tell because it's so good. I think that coat is probably real.
Yeah. And Dracula's ring, the ring that Bela Lugosi's wearing, is the same one that was being worn by John Carradine.
Really?
In the John Carradine films. Yeah, House of Dracula, House of Frankenstein. It's a cool ring. You can get reproductions of it. So some better than others, but you pay for it. But he wants a simple brain, and guess who?
So I have expected him to say, "I do not go blah 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 blah."
Yeah, right. Is that So the Dracula ring, is it the one? It looks like the crest of Dracula with the D in the center.
Yeah, and little bats, and like a bat across the top, I believe.
Hmm. You don't know what you say. Yeah, I mean, there's cheap versions of it available for about $15.
Yeah,
You can get it for $40. You can get the Ordo Dracul for 116.
Evelyn Hampton's like, yeah, she's nice looking, but she's no problem looker.
Is this the film that first did the whole cover the nose with the cape thing?
I don't know if it was the first, but it really popularized it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like I said, before this, the monster films weren't really performing that well.
Yeah.
This film was the second highest grosser for the studio that year, because Abbott and Costello were still hot as could be at this point.
Sure.
And they had a few more monster films in it. A couple of them with Karloff. Abbott and Costello meet the killer Boris Karloff, and Abbott and Costello meet Jekyll and Hyde, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, who was also Karloff.
Now,
yes, we can ignore the fact that the last film of the Universal's monster saga, he was actually cured of his lycanthropy.
Well, and you can also forget that the timeline is very shifting in these movies.
Yeah, he turned. Yeah, he turns into a wolf 4 nights in a row. The full moon does not happen 4 nights in a row.
Yeah, good point.
See, so you've really got a suspension of disbelief in the whole thing.
So those of you that are in the stream right now that are also following along in the Fixing the Universal Monsters shared universe, how would we do a remake of these Abbott and Costello humorous films? What other comic duo would be more appropriate in like the 90s and the aughts? Something to think about.
I think there's a great line coming up. And Lon Chaney Jr. was a really good actor. He deserved better roles, I thought, outside of this.
Actually, yeah, it seems like he got a little typecast with the monster role, because to be honest with you, he could have made a pretty darn good leading man,
Mm-hmm. Well, he did stretch his acting muscle a little bit in the Inner Sanctum films. Where he basically got to play just himself.
I mean, yeah, he is a good-looking guy. So, like Troy said, he could have been a leading man in something.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the Inner Sanctum films, he kind of was. And then the Wolfman, which we'll be doing the week after next on the Professor's channel, he's kind of the leading man in that, though it's a very tragic story for him.
I love that. I love stuff like that. Just close the door on him.
I always liked the Wolfman makeup. It's just
I love it. I love it. Closing the door without even realizing.
You swipe one of his nectarines.
orange or something, apple maybe. I don't know.
I wonder if he counted these. Now he's worried. Oof.
Ouch.
I know, right?
I love the old hotel keys too, with the big plastic tag on it.
Right? I have one around here for the Bates Motel. Aged Boomer is saying Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson. You know what, Aged Boomer? Do me a favor. Go ahead and same thing. Tom Spiegel, Nick Frost, and Simon. That's actually a really good one. Guys, go to the Universal Monsters shared universe that just dropped the link. Share that there, because I'm well into my blood wine and I'm not going to remember this later.
See what happens when I'm not downstairs to keep him in check?
Yeah. Although I do like the idea of Nick Frost and Simon Pegg, because they do work very well
right.
Yeah. Because you got your straight man and you got your comic foil.
And can I give some props to Bud Abbott for tying his tie exactly the right length to get right to his belt buckle?
Yeah.
That's another horror film that we mentioned, Simon Pegg. What's that one with the
Shaun of the Dead?
Shaun of the Dead.
Yes. There you
That'd
go.
be a good one. That'd be a good one.
Oh, now I'm a little torn. Shaun of the Dead or Waxwork?
Always do a
Shaun
poll.
of the Dead at least has humor.
I could
do a poll. Just no pole dancing.
No, that's Showgirls. That's another.
I was just going to say, even you don't want to see me doing pole dancing. That's just no. That's just no.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not even going to put in an added option kind of thing, because I know everyone will put in Showgirls. I am not doing a rewatch of Showgirls this month.
Abbott's like, who is she? Oh, she's Joan Abbott. And then he looked at the camera like, I don't know. Yeah, it's like, I don't know who this is. And then just,
Yeah, he does kind of break the fourth wall in this scene a bit.
Oh, boo. That was a shutdown.
Yeah.
Two beautiful, tall women after you, Lou.
Yes, but if the one is his girlfriend, he has to do the right thing and not to have a date with this one. Because that would make him a cad.
That's almost like a little who's on first kind of thing.
Right? And if I had two girls, too bad for me.
I was like, you can light the cigarette, get a pair of shoes, and go somewhere. Like he had a rager. I always liked that he was like an antagonist for the other two.
Mm-hmm. I must stop them.
Okay, everybody. I just put a poll in the Professor Geek group. So when you, not necessarily during the stream, but whenever, say in the next couple days, if you want to go put something down there, I'd be interested in your opinions. I put Shaun of the Dead and Waxwork in.
Yours had teeth.
Don't say it, Al. Don't say it.
What?
Whatever you might think. I speak French too. It's pretty close to Spanish. Mi amor.
Yeah.
But it's still French. Parlez-vous français?
Bonduger.
Bonduger.
Yeah.
He's just so full of himself. I love it.
Hey, if you don't have it in the looks department, you got to have it in the attitude department.
He was a very charming guy on screen. Yep. He had such sadly a tragic life though.
Mm-hmm.
Fought rheumatic fever most of his life. Kept having flare-ups of it. One of the reasons his life was cut short.
Yeah. I'll have to get somebody. A little bit of banter there.
Wow.
If they're going to a masquerade, what are Abbott and Costello supposed to be dressed as? Since they're not in a costume.
Maybe they just have like masks on.
A comedy duo.
Yeah. They're going as Martin and Lewis. No.
Well, if they were wearing black suits and they had black hats, I'd say they were Blues Brothers, but you know.
That's a little before the Blues Brothers time.
Yeah.
Don't the girls get a say in this? So are we supposed to believe that Larry Talbot is immortal because of his curse?
Possibly, but like I said, suspension of belief.
Yeah.
Well, if you remember, he was raised back after the first time he died. He was brought back to life in Frankenstein meets the Wolfman.
Oh, good point. Those are cool phones too. The one that he was just on. So am I. Obviously, for steampunk reasons, Nanette and I have a phone like that.
Is it working?
It's like a Halloween prop.
Oh, it's a prop. Okay.
Yeah. Although we have talked about the idea of possibly using it on at a steampunk convention, putting it on the table and hooking it up to a wireless for our cell phones.
Oh, cool. Well, what a great set.
I was just thinking exactly the same thing.
Big, expansive, great. Look at the lighting too. I love the way it's lit.
Now this setting with the ceiling and everything, very similar to the real Dracula's castle in Romania.
Mm-hmm.
Broom closet.
Considering he was in the broom closet.
Yeah. And he turns around. No, I'm gone.
That would be cool though to have like a boat access down there.
Right?
God, I'd love to be a bazillionaire.
Wouldn't we both, my friend?
I'd build a place like that, with an elevator and a.
Nanette wants me to buy
another and a little boat.
Nanette wants me to build a big Victorian style house with lots of secret doors and passages.
Yeah.
See, this is why I married this crazy woman.
You got to have a little conservatory and a.
Yes. Although one thing I really want to do is I want to buy some land in the Midwest somewhere. And build the Klingon Great Hall and have conventions every year, get all the Klingons together.
How often do you guys get together, like yearly, like a true 100% Klingon event?
So the Klingon Assault Group actually has an annual thing that they do every year, except for 2020 because 2020.
Yeah.
It ruined everything.
I know.
Although
now watch the monster's face when he's sitting in his lap. There's supposed to be a couple times you actually catch Glenn Strange kind of smiling,
start to laugh, yeah,
because they did this several times and he kept doing different things. He was just cracking him up.
Wait a minute. How many? 1, 2, 3. Three free hands. That's a problem.
And one of them's wearing nail polish.
Yeah, there.
Yeah, you see him? You see that little upturn of a lip.
But what I was starting to say, though, is that this year CAG did an online convention that was actually very successful. In my opinion, more successful than the big cons that tried to do it this year. He's got to pantomime it all because he can't speak. Ask Netter. I have the same problem sometimes. I can't speak, so I have to pantomime. Words don't work. They were there. They were there. Chick, chick, oh, chick. Open sesame. Open sesame. And then they're going to be right on the other side. Am I right?
Yeah.
Of course. Oh, for crying out loud.
I just love their shtick. Ooh, I like that outfit.
Right? This one kind of has a gypsy thing going on.
Yeah. Well, I've always loved the goddess look. The white.
The Secrets of Life and Death by Dr. Frankenstein.
And I've got somebody in the next room that could walk in at any minute, but I'm going to take time to read this.
You catch like the keywords like lightning and someone snooping must be dealt with. Always like the dark shirt with the light tie look. I don't know if you caught. Did you catch any of the Dracula we watched that Dale Heron and I tried to do?
No, I couldn't. By the time my D&D game finished, you guys were already done.
Yeah, well, we never got to finish it, sadly, because his tablet, his Google Play was having issues. But he was dressed up for the event. He had this like slick black suit on, little red tie. He looked very like modern vampire. I think go back and just check out how he looked. He looks slick. It was a great look for him.
And although that patch is very nondescript, I think the implication is supposed to be that that's the Dracula crest.
Well, he's supposed to be Dr. Lejos at this point.
Oh, I see.
Because he's trying to be incognito.
Incogito, gotcha.
See, there they go. They have the costumes in the boat. Love his voice. Only he could really sound like Dracula.
Well, because it's his natural accent, you know.
Yeah, but still, he just
Yeah.
has a certain way. It's the cadence. It's
Yes.
everything, you know.
He does make it, because it's so natural, he does make it that much more elegant.
Yeah. Whoa.
I know who you are.
That is a great use of the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
We're off angle, so we don't see the camera. We don't see him, but we do
Although
see her in the third person-ish.
there is one goof in here where you do see him in a mirror.
Oh. Right here.
Right there.
Yep.
You shouldn't be seeing him in the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
It was a goof, you know. I wonder if somebody would like go in there and like do CGI and wipe it out. Yeah, it'd be kind of neat.
Back then, though, it wouldn't have been. They could have actually done the double exposure thing and done one pass with just her in the mirror, and then one pass, for the foreground.
Mm-hmm.
They did do stuff like that. McDougal is the devil.
Yep.
Your word is better.
Poor Wilbur.
And see, back to you guys that I was talking to about doing a modern, remake of this. I think I would still set this in like the 40s. This would be like the interim between, the Mary Shelley era and the modern era.
Yeah, I could see that.
You were 20 million other guys. I love that line.
I love that because in a way, isn't that exactly the analogy that the werewolf speaks to?
Yep.
The predatory male, at night. The toxic
That's true.
masculinity.
And like I said, it's another full moon.
Yeah.
Lots of full moons going on. the actress here, Lenore Albert, was a favorite of Hugh Hefner, who loved this film
I
and
can see
and
that.
and really liked her as an actress.
Hmm.
He is a charming man.
Mhm.
I should tell you why we dance.
I don't even try.
I think that's a good way to go about it. Don't even try to understand women. You'll just go mad.
How do you mean that? So fully pepped.
So fully packed. Lucky Strike cigarettes. That's where
Yep.
they got that.
I'm afraid to.
She does have
Yeah,
very
right?
mesmerizing eyes. Ooh, that's
Yeah.
a cool effect. I like that effect. Little bats.
I don't want to look anymore. I'll bite. No, I will.
I love how but he was able to, into, he had a good intuition on it. He's like, there's something wrong with her.
Yep. Oh no, you gotta stand in line.
Uh-oh. Full moon rises.
Well, at least he's smart enough now to learn to take his shirt off, because otherwise it's just gonna get ruined. Think about how that had to be done. He had to get into the same position repeatedly.
Or the makeup artist had to sit there and dab them on and then move away.
Right?
I mean, it almost would take the patience of like doing stop action.
Right? Exactly.
Kind of rough going there. Yeah, but of course, the old saying, even a man who is pure of heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and the autumn moon is bright. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You see this coming. Now, of course, you know he's been bitten by a werewolf.
Huh?
Oh, McDougal.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here we go again.
I just love that.
Actually,
I love the
it's
effect.
done.
I love the little flapping bat.
The puppet effect is much better here than in previous films. To be honest,
yeah. Don't tell me you've gone bats too.
Right?
Told ya. I don't understand though why he keeps covering his face.
Emphasizing the eyes.
Yeah.
Focusing have them focus on his eyes.
You know,
Yeah,
wearing the same color pants.
They are wearing the same outfit. About time. He finally saw it.
You finally saw something.
I saw what I saw when I saw it. Melissa Harris thinks werewolves are. Melissa thinks werewolves are cool as hell.
I kind of feel like this would be a great place to slip in the Creature from the Black Lagoon, but there never was a crossover with the Creature, was there?
Not in films. Abbott and Costello on television did meet the Creature for the Black
Gotcha.
Lagoon.
Gotcha.
It's out there. It's on YouTube if you look for it. And they did release it on DVD, I believe.
Junior. So I do like them calling him Junior, you know?
Just a little, you know, and I know it's very cliche today, but back then, something like that, it was that they innovated stuff like that.
Yep.
That weird little physical comedy stuff.
Yep.
Zapping with the ring.
That's weird. My subtitles were working up to this point, and now they just stopped.
So, unless I'm mistaken, at this point, that's Igor's brain in there, right?
Technically, well, if you follow,
it gets confusing.
It does get very weird because Igor's brain eventually does get to the monster, but then he like goes blind for a while,
which I thought was supposed to reflect a rejection of the brain or something.
Yeah, something like that. I forget. It's been a while since I've really seen those. Later ones, you know, the forgotten one. Well, not forgotten, but just
not as well known, really.
Yeah. There's a whole arc of stories.
When I think about acting range for Lon Chaney Jr., I think of he and wasn't it Boris Karloff? No, not Boris Karloff. Bela Lugosi were in Of Mice and Men together. He played Lenny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, was that was with Bella?
I think so, wasn't it?
I don't.
Let me check. Let me double check. $1939. I'm sorry. No, it was Burgess Meredith and Lon Chaney Jr.
Oh, okay, Burgess Meredith. Another guy in a tuxedo.
Yes, exactly. And it hasn't worked right yet. Okay, I'll wait. Frankie.
I like it. It was during this film that they were also filming the Mr. Peabody and the Mermaid,
Uh-huh.
and that's where there's a famous picture of Glenn Strange with a mermaid in his arms.
Oh, okay.
And it's during this film. It was that was taken, and they were invited to the wrap up for that movie too because they were so close with each other. Oh, that's one thing. It's a very clean setup they have it here, unlike the earlier Frankenstein films.
Yeah.
I like the older castle kind of set, but
Yep.
probably didn't have the money for too much.
His problem here is a short attention span. The problem is I'm afraid of you.
And his brain very easily molded and bended to somebody else's will, of course. Skipping.
Yep. The Force can have a strong influence on the weak-minded.
Well, you could tell that was animated. How it was animated.
Yeah.
Still looks good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, even today, that's a great effect.
Now, interestingly, she says you won't feel a thing because in brain surgery, you don't feel a thing, but you'll definitely feel them cutting through the scalp.
I want a house like that.
Oh. Oh, clever.
You know what? It was a good move. And this is the first time the Wolfman and Dracula shared the same scene.
Really? Interesting. Yep.
Okay, the table wouldn't spin like that.
But it was funny. I can't do that.
Now, an interesting bit of info here.
Uh-huh.
During this scene, Glenn Strange broke his ankle.
Really?
And who had to step in and play the monster?
Huh?
Lon Chaney Jr.
Oh, no kidding.
How'd he break his ankle?
He tripped on a cable. In fact, I think that is
Lon Chaney. Yeah, I could see it.
He just happened to be on the set, and he's like,
I've done it before.
Done it before, I'll do it again.
Wait, the door opens out, doesn't it?
Yeah, which is weird. It should open into a room.
Exactly. That's why it was funny. They weren't barring the door because it opens the other way.
I love the fact that Dracula and the Wolfman are just like battling,
going at it. Yeah. I don't have time to deal with you two buffoons. I got to deal with this hairy beast. And he looks at the camera
at the fourth wall. It's like, hey, check it out.
He thinks I'm Dracula. Oh, come on. I was just going to say, what are the chances that door is going to hold him? You had him for all of about 5 seconds.
Well, you can look at those shoes and you could tell it's hard to walk because he was wobbling coming over that.
You almost get the feeling that the whole arms out thing was less about.
Ooh, he got the bat.
Yep. All of that was double exposure and animation, but that was really good.
I'll try to slow him down a little bit at least.
So you notice that the girl gets her senses back when Dracula falls into the river, the running water. Here comes one of them now.
You want to exhibit? Here it is. You think I'm going to use a ladder?
That's actually quite clever.
Uh-huh. Untie the boat.
It's like you can paddle all you want. You're not going any further than the end of that rope.
Agent Boomer's asking, do I think the onset of the 50s spelled demise for the Universal monsters? A little bit, yeah. I mean, the classic ones, but they always re-release them, the original ones.
things
every
tend
few
to go in
years.
cycles.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like as we left the 40s and went into the 50s, we went from, horror, which was a direct reflection on where we were coming from with World War II and whatnot, going into the Cold War with
the atomic, and the atomic
horror,
the atomic age and the radiation. And that's where we start to get the like giant ant movies and things like that. And of course, the UFOs, which became much more popular in the late 40s, early 50s.
There we go.
Yep.
It's funny as he's paddling, he's not actually going anywhere.
I'm the Invisible Man.
Man. The great Vincent Price.
Yep. That was brilliant.
Just a simple, I just love that little simple cameo at the end. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the Invisible Man.
That is pretty clever.
The Players.
Genius. Absolutely genius.
And that is Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, and of course they also met Dracula and the Wolfman and the Invisible Man at the end, which was a very nice touch.
And had things gone differently, it would have been the Mummy too.
Yeah, well, like I said, originally it was going to be the Mummy, and it was going to be one, but Abbott and Costello would meet the Mummy several years later, and Abbott and Costello meet the Mummy.
That's absolutely right.
So they did have their time meeting the other creatures. Like I said, Jekyll and Hyde they would meet. They would meet Boris Karloff, just credited as the killer Boris Karloff.
I do like Tom Spiegel here. This river scene would be a good spot for the Gill Man to pop up next to the boat. Lou just calmly says, "Hey, buddy, this picture's already two-packed," and the Gill Man just slips back down into the water.
Yeah, a good thing. But the Gill Man didn't exist at that point, so he's still 6 years. He's still 6 years away, and
that's okay. We can plan on that for our fixing the Universal Monsters universe remake.
Yeah, yep. He's like I said, the Creature from Black Lagoon came out in 1954, so it's still, and this was 1948. But Abbott and Costello, I mean, they went on to make a whole slew of films. Some with the monster, like I said, Boris Karloff. They met the Invisible Man, of course, Jekyll and Hyde, and they meet the Mummy, which was the last of the ones where they meet a creature. Yeah. But they I think it was the Colgate Comedy Hour that they did where they did meet the Creature from the Black Lagoon. That is on YouTube. I've seen it. It's pretty funny. It's a great shtick. So they really did get a chance to meet all the great ones. God, I'm looking at their list and I forgot about half of these things. Like they meet Captain Kidd, they go to Mars, meet the Keystone Cops. Oh my Lord, they had a lot of them out there. But I had a lot of fun watching this film. I like I said, I fall between the Fan Man and the Professor and the Love. I kind of go both ways. I like the hardcore horror, but I do love the lighter side. This definitely was one of the lighter sides. Did you guys have fun? I hope.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, Lou Costello, Bud Abbott, they were just they were a great duo, and always ripe for fun. Tom Spiegel like the Keystone Cops chase was hysterical. Yeah, I watched a lot of them when I was young, but it was really the monster ones that I watched more than once or twice. This film I hadn't seen in a long time. I'd forgotten little bits and pieces of it. I mean, I knew like some of the great shtick, like the candle stuff and and things like you and 20 million other guys, which is one of my favorite lines of all time in a comedy film. Melissa Harris said, fun rewatch. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Of course, next Saturday we are entering a whole different realm of horror.
Yep.
Something a little more
little horrifying. Yeah, exactly.
Quite horrifying. What are we watching on your channel?
I have been promising for over a year now, since last year's rewatch, the follow-up to last year's Hellraiser rewatch. We will be watching the second in the series, Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. Very much like The Bride of Frankenstein was actually a small portion of the original novel. So in a way, Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein should have been one story. Same thing with Hellraiser. Hellraiser and Hellbound Hellraiser 2 are both taken from portions of the original novella, The Hellbound Heart. So it's almost like the second part of a single film.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward. I've never seen the Hell. I saw like I said, I saw the first one a long time ago, late night on cable.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen the second and third one. So these will be rewatches for you, but a first time watch for me.
The second Hellraiser does expound on the lore, takes us literally into the hell of Leviathan, and you really find out where the Cenobites actually come from.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I do think that we're going to forego Hellraiser 3.
Okay, so
because it's not as good a film as the first two, and I've gotten some other suggestions from you guys that I think are way better. So I got a poll going on the Professor Geek.
How many choices we got on the poll there?
So far we have 2, but I do have it open to add your own.
Oh, you did do it.
So actually, there's 3 choices, and you can choose more than one. I have Waxwork, I have Shaun of the Dead, and I have Not Showgirls. So those are your 3 choices, and you can choose more than one, or you can add your own. Not Showgirls.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be next week. But tomorrow
night, yes, we have
coming up, of course, is Aged Boomer. He's already got his link up for tomorrow night's study hall. And Daniel Herron is already first. He saw it before even I did. That's pretty good.
That's awesome.
So that is tomorrow at 8 Central, 9 Eastern time.
And I believe Mr. Matchstick has a we watch
is doing his. Hold on a second.
Is it like Helsing?
It is. It is Helsing episodes 5 and 6.
Yep.
And let me drop the link for his channel. He doesn't have the link up for
this is where we start. This is the portion of the show where Troy goes crazy with links.
I do. I super appreciate
it.
Also,
and if you're in the chat, they're also in the description of mine. I always make sure I include everybody's web address. I think I've got everybody so far.
And of course, there's always the Professor Geek.
If I am missing it, and if anybody looks below in the description of the video and sees the whole slew of people's links to their website, I think I got everybody. If I've missed somebody, please let me know.
Yeah. So that's Sunday night. Monday night, thank goodness, Sound
Graver is back.
I appreciate that, because boy, that was a lot of streaming for me trying to fill in for her. But Sound Engraver is back to inspire her with her Monday night news.
2 6 in a row, bud.
I know. I had a week that was close.
Yeah,
but,
I don't mind. Like I said, it's something for me to do, and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But yes, Sound Engraver just popped up. She is back. Yep, I am back. She's back.
She'll be back.
Oh, I would love to see
Tune
her.
into Sound Engraver if you want to live.
Yeah, I'd love to get her take on the Terminator music, the original Terminator music.
Yes.
That's a great soundtrack.
Awesome soundtrack.
And of course, on Tuesday night, we will be watching The Son of Frankenstein on the Professor's channel.
Yep.
This is the one we kind of switched. We kind of did a little switching around at the last minute because we suddenly realized just how cool Lugosi is as Igor or Igor. I forget. I literally do forget how they pronounce it. But it's a great movie. Lugosi is Igor and Karloff back under the flat top. So definitely come there 10 o'clock on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, Daniel Herron and Agent Boomer, I believe they're going to be watching and commenting on Psycho at probably around 8:30, I believe.
Oh, the music on that one, those strings. Oh gosh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's that'll be interesting. Hopefully one day we'll get to watch Bram Stoker's Dracula, have that rewatch happen, but technical issues last week. Sadly, but yeah, Psycho this week. So hopefully everything goes well with that. And Green Lion Girls coming back with starting a new game. She'll be playing Hitman.
Exactly.
So tune in to her about 9 o'clock.
Eastern,
yeah, about 9 o'clock, and a lot of fun. She takes suggestions from the chat, asking the chat which when you got a choice to do something, she definitely takes suggestions. It's a lot of fun. Thursday night, we're back to the Professor's channel at 10 o'clock for the book study of Ray Bradbury's Halloween Tree, chapters 7 through 14. So this is the middle portion of the book. We got 2 weeks left for it. Then we're going to do a rewatch. Of the Halloween Tree animated film.
I'm kind of with you, Al. I think that the foreshadowing is kind of thick, and I'm kind of concerned about where that's
kind of worried about Pipkin.
Yeah,
we'll say I'm worried about Pipkin. I don't know, but we'll see. Haven't read, like I said, haven't read it yet. That's what we're gonna do tomorrow evening, instead of watching Parks and Rec some more. Unless there's something good on. I don't know. Like I said, I take every day as it comes. We'll see what happens. And then that leads us to next Friday, and since we're on Friday, the Fan Man hopefully will have his electricity back. He is currently missing a few shingles to his a few roof tiles and no electricity last time I heard from him, but he and the family are fine. That is the major thing. There's a big hit down there. Definitely pray for a lot of people there. Exactly. And of course, I'm not sure what that's going to mean for the Second Cup Cafe, which usually has about 11 a.m. on Tuesday and Thursday. So, but tune in, keep alert on the Professor Geek channel, and hopefully if he gets electricity back and everything works out right, we'll have the Fan Man back in full action. And I think he said he still wanted to do Dracula Prince of Darkness, the Christopher Lee Hammer film, next Friday. So not going to do Frankenstein Created Woman, gonna go for the Dracula film, which I think will be a lot of fun. Christopher Lee, great and of course always great to see Christopher Lee on screen. And of course, like we said, next Saturday, Hellbound Hellraiser 2. That's the official title, right?
Hellbound Hellraiser 2, yes.
Hellraiser 2.
Again, a throwback to the original novella, The Hellbound Heart. Sound Engraver, thank you so much for being so encouraging. Looking forward to chatting with you again. We have all missed you these past couple weeks. It has seemed
yes, we're trying to Sound Engraver is going to be doing a rewatch in December. Yep. I don't want to announce it yet. I'm not going to announce it because that's going to be her. Let her
allow her to surprise.
Allow her to do the big announcement on it. But
one last thing,
it's on the schedule, so we're ready to go for it.
because you did mention it earlier, of course, I am now starting to put content on the Klingon Cleric channel, including my first video, which many of you have probably already seen. Super appreciate it if you'd come over and subscribe, give me a like on the video. I will be having more content coming out really soon. In fact, I'm going to have for a brief period of time, for a limited engagement, I'm going to be doing some special Tuesday night Trek content in November. And of course, by all means, our lovely and talented Netters Network. Her first video is up. If you haven't seen it, please give it a watch. Encourage her, and she will be having more content coming your way really soon.
Yes, and for Big Al Presents, well, you never know. Like I said, I want to do some more stuff. Just gotta kind of figure out the real life. Kind of is still weird, still in flux. Kind of, gotta get my my mojo back.
Y'all are currently on Big Al's channel, so if you haven't, make sure you hit that subscribe and the bell.
Yes. Please subscribe. Please hit the bell.
AG Boomer says he's looking forward to study hall tomorrow.
Smash that like button. I will say the next scheduled Big Al Presents rewatch is Halloween night, 10 o'clock on October 31st, and we will be watching Young Frankenstein, the Mel Brooks classic.
That's Frankenstein.
Yes, we're gonna have Igor and Frau Brucha and the lovely Terry Garr. Roll, hey. And man, Terry Garr, beautiful woman,
right?
Oh my. And Madeline Kahn with the bride hair. Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's a classic.
Madeline Kahn was wow too.
I think I saw Young Frankenstein at a drive-in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I now I think about it, I think it was one of the drive-in experiences I had.
Nice.
So yeah, definitely join Halloween night, special Halloween rewatch. Mel Brooks, Young Frankenstein. Definitely looking forward to that. It will be the end of Halloween for this year. And what holds the future as we head to the Thanksgiving and Christmas season? Not quite sure yet, but again,
something to be thankful for, I'm sure.
Definitely something to be thankful for, and definitely some Christmas stuff.
There you go.
Let's just say one of the ones I'm definitely leaning towards is our favorite fat fella taking on some alien invaders. If you know what I mean. Hopefully those of you who know. Santa Claus.
You're talking about Carton and the Klingons? Wait,
yeah,
what are we talking about? You mean Santa Claus versus the Martians. Right.
Yeah, so
you mean you're not going to play Santa Claus Meets Kiss?
Oh gosh, that needs to happen, right?
No. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians is
that's a great one. So we're gonna do a rewatch of that for sure?
Yep, 99.9% sure. Just don't know what day yet.
Awesome.
But I'm gonna. But yeah, that's gonna show up. And the other one, I've got in flux. Not quite sure if it's gonna be the one I choose. I want to run it by somebody and make sure they don't want to do it first.
You bet. AG Boomer said he's looking forward to study hall tomorrow. Absolutely. Although I think there's going to be a lot of down notes because Hollywood is a brutal place right now. Things are not looking good for most of our favorite franchises right now.
Yeah,
we have a lot of news to bring you about that.
Did you catch the fact that on that Star Trek: The Lower Decks monstrosity, they brought in Riker and the Titan?
Yes, they did. And they also, because so many people are claiming that Lower Decks is canon, they also brought in that stupid security helmet that they sold back in the 70s with the Mars light on top of it.
With Spock on it.
Yeah. And people are going, well, it's canon now. And I'm like, where do you people figure that this Lower Decks is canon? I said, this is a farce. And someone in Midnight's Edge said, well, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's not canon. I'm like, I didn't say I didn't like it. when I say it's a farce, I mean it literally is a farce.
Yeah,
And
you can't take it seriously. Come
exactly. If you say that that's canon, how can you say that's canon and the original animated series isn't? I mean, this
Okay.
is
on. Okay, Cartan, save it for
I'll save it for my channel. That's right.
Yeah, save it for study hall. But I like to thank everybody for joining us tonight.
Reining me in here. Thank you, Al.
No problem. I just figured, that's content for another time.
You're right.
I was like, save it.
We're also at the 2-hour mark.
Save the anger and let it out later. Explode it out later. I'd like to wish everybody a happy weekend. Hope you guys have a great Sunday and of course a great week coming up. Thank you once again for joining us. Do you guys have any last words?
I just want to thank everyone again for joining us tonight. And like Troy was saying earlier, if you haven't already subscribed to our channels, please make sure you do so. It does help us out. Leave a comment, put in a like, thumbs up, thumbs down, it doesn't matter. All of that helps our algorithms, especially those of us just starting out. It really does help. And we do appreciate you subscribing to us. So have a really great night and thank you again.
And I only drink blood wine.
Night all. I'm a stinker. Bye, guys.